Paul Rubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, died at 70 last Sunday, July 31st, after a private 6-year fight with cancer. An AP News report called him silly, subversive, a champion of nonconformity. Director Guillermo del Toro said, one of the patron saints of all misfitted, weird, maladjusted, wonderful, miraculous oddities. Rubens called his own show, Pee Wee's Playhouse, quote, Norman Rockwell. But it was my Norman Rockwell, which was more all-inclusive. He had actors of color on his show. He promoted diversity and having folks on a show. He said that came out of growing up in Florida under segregation. He said, I felt really good about that. He's from Sarasota, Florida. Lived there since he was 7, I think. We're trying to expose children, he said, to as much creativity as we can muster in a half hour, to be entertaining and to transmit subliminal messages, like nonconformity isn't bad. There are moments in this crowd of life, I would add, when being crazy and set apart are life-giving. He kept his real identity a secret for many years, making appearances in public only as Pee Wee Herman. So there were many years when his identity wasn't known. Coincidentally, Cyndi Lauper sang the opening credits for Pee Wee's Playhouse under an assumed name. The first thing a cruise director will do as you gather on a cruise ship is remind you that you are on vacation. He or she or they will say that you are on a ship with thousands of people. In this case, 6,000 cruisers and more than 2,000 staff. Wow. It was a loaded ship, full. They will remind you that the vast majority of these people are strangers whom you will never see again. And that is true, with a few exceptions, courtesy of YouTube, Facebook, cruising webs. They will encourage you that now is your time to relax, have fun, let your hair down, be yourself, show your colors. But how I got into this dress in front of 1,000 people is still a little bit of a mystery. I was not drunk, as you might well imagine, nor was I compensated, even with a cheap plastic trophy or a souvenir for my efforts. However, I can tell you, I was recognized for the next 3 days on that cruise ship everywhere I went. And people complimented me, especially after they played it over and over on closed circuit television. Even when I went scuba diving with 17 people the next morning, they all said I underwent the greatest transformation from a rough, tough biker dude to a lady on the runway. So let me see if I can explain. There was this late night game show called Quest or something like that. It was kind of a group scavenger hunt, all held in an auditorium. Now, Kathy plans our shows and our curricula. I tag along. When we were married, Kathy was pleased to insist that we sit on the front row, musicians, comedians, magic shows, we are front and center, where Kathy knows that I am perfect bait. that I, not she, will be on stage in rainbow dreads singing back up to A Lion Sleeps Tonight. Oh, we are on the way. Yes. Kathy is who we thank for your viewing privilege today, as she was filming this. But when our Section 3 team leader chose me personally to be this biker dude, and we were sitting on the second row, of course, I forgot that I had seen this Quest show before. I forgot the happy ending. While I was revving my bike on stage, let me turn it down a little bit. Turn it down a little bit. Okay. So while I'm revving on stage, there's a woman right here you see. Whoops, I messed up. Let's see if I can back up. What have I done? I pushed the wrong button. I was trying to push the pointer.
You want me to try to get it?
Start that one over, yeah. It's the first one, I think.
Here we go.
Okay. So now we have to see if it'll start. That's the picture, right?
Nope. Let me back up one more.
That's the picture, I think. The next one
There.
is.
It's the same.
There it is.
No, wait a minute, hold on. Don't stop.
I messed up.
Stop.
Anyway, I'll tell you
Okay,
this.
now do it.
The leader, okay, here we go. So, the woman that you see here is our leader. Now, she asked me to do this part. How can I say no? That's our co-leader on my other side. Now, if you'll watch this woman come up, and there's a woman in the, dang it, in the crowd who's, I'm not pushing that anymore. She's whispering in her ear. I'm not seeing any of this. So we're going to move on to the next slide. And this I call the Dancing Queen. And this woman is, incidentally, we also saw a 2.5-hour show of Mamma Mia while we were.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. So our Dancing Queen here is later going to come to play a major role in this little scheme. She's the whisperer. Somebody notice already?
Yeah.
But I have an out for all of this behavior. You hear the cruise director say in that first clip, we're going to come around, and what he's going to do is there are 6 of us out there, one from each of the competitions. He's going to come around and he's going to introduce us to the crowd. He's going to say the name and he's going to ask us something if we've ever seen this show before. Now I'm the third one, so listen to what he said. This fellow's, that's number 2.
Holy crap, this is Willie Nelson 90 years ago.
And there it is. I hear this everywhere I go, but now it's official. I've been announced. Willie Nelson. So, here's my out. As far as anyone knows, that's Willie Nelson Jr. on that floor out there. That's not me on the catwalk dressed in drag. He never says my name. At some point later, as I reflected on what I did, it came to me that I was actually wearing a dress. Okay, which means that someone in Team 3 was not. It's only thanks to Kathy's camera work that the mystery is revealed. So, the moment you have waited for.
20 seconds to transform your mean biker dude into Miss Allure of the Seas 2023.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah.
No way! She
I was oblivious to all of this when I was on the floor. Here I am getting dressed out there. All right, there's 2 things to notice, important things to note, at least 2 things. to notice here. First of all, a big black man is putting on me a dress. Second of all, and of course he was our team co-leader. Second of all, who in this video is really showing their true colors? I mean, really. I'm cross-dressing. She took off her clothes in front of 1,000 people, just as though she were right at home in her birthday suit. Yay for her.
Yeah.
I think I got into the spirit of the moment well. I look okay, really, with a hair bun, covering up that bald spot back there really well. And the dress actually fit pretty well. Now, the blinged out flip-flops were tight, but I managed to walk into them as I strolled. This clip shows some final touches while I was embracing the crowd and they were dressing. Kathy, I think, is laughing so hard she can't hold the camera straight. Oh,
That was a fan.
Do you have a fan or so in your hand?
they gave me a fan. Incidentally, I'm the only one of the 6 that's actually getting in a dress.
Oh, wow, that's a whole job.
I had 3 purses before I was finished. Yeah, one was under the dress, hung up under the dress. She's going to put more buns on my hair. I don't know where she got them.
Oh, you got a flower?
I got everything. So, Kathy seems to be falling all over laughing there. I think we've had enough fun here, right? I mean, I have the video clip of my final runway walk, but I'm sure you don't want to.
Yes.
Please.
Go, Chad.
All right.
Oh, wow.
He's a natural.
Oh, I get closer.
Way. You look like a... Oh,
They actually did a pretty good job. One thing I learned is that I have no lips. So they wanted to put lipstick on me. It took me 20 minutes to clean it out of my beard. He's taking rings off my fingers. I had rings. You'll see my competition in just a second.
Did you win?
They never even announced the winner. I was so disappointed. But everyone told me everywhere that I made the greatest transition. So I guess I'm Miss Allure of the Seas 2023. You can get the light if you want.
Okay.
One could generally say that I am nonconformist. I'm rarely accused of trying to fit in, though I do respect and value the opinions of others. I'm a rainbow lover. The more diversity and love and plurality that we can add to this world of fear and hatred and hostility toward what is different, the greater the joy will be for all of us. It seems so clear, but it's so nonconformist. They killed Jesus for it. They killed Mohandas Gandhi for it. For love. For non-violence. Johnny Mae Chapel was murdered as she walked along a roadside in Jacksonville, Florida. Keith nodding his head. By white men looking for a black to kill after a day of racial unrest. This happened in 1964, and I was 10 years old living in Jacksonville. Yet I don't recall hearing about it at the time, in church or elsewhere. Seems it would have registered. Maybe not. I'm sure it was out there somehow. They killed to show that they were morally superior. Our current book discussion is Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements. He says the trouble is not that we are wild. The trouble is we are domesticated. Life has tamed us. There are thousands of agreements you have made with yourself, with other people, with your dream of life, with God, society, on and on. We are programmed. We are machinations. I learned a little different vocabulary back in seminary, but the message was the same. A little book by Elizabeth O'Connor called Our Many Selves is all about getting to know ourselves, the many layers within us. All these life agreements, as Ruiz calls them. There are so many people in here making choices, promises they cannot keep, claims they cannot verify, dreams they can't fulfill. A 69-year-old minister, a carpenter, a wandering mystic, a doubtful cynic, a shy little boy, a know-it-all. Oh, so many me's. The Bible said it this way, I am legion. O'Connor says this explains why people so often make decisions and so seldom carry them out. Her example struck a chord with me. A man decides, from now on, I will get up early. Or fill in the blank, from now on I will work out, I will get a job, I will lose weight. One I or a group of I's decide this, these personas. But getting up in the morning is the work of a different I, who certainly disagrees with the decision and may even know nothing about it. He is going to go on sleeping. That's the guy I like. Often we hear reference to the notion of being true to ourselves, follow our bliss, keeping it real, show your true colors. Or we talk about how in times of adversity, a person's real identity shows up. But I think all of them are us. All of them are real. It doesn't mean that we are in control of them. It's a committee in here. It's like getting something done at church. But Don Miguel Ruiz suggests that we have forgotten how to be that true self, how to be free. He says, we see a 2 or a 3-year-old, that is a free human, right? Like a flower, tree, or animal, that person is completely wild. They haven't been domesticated. And most of the time, you will notice they have a big smile on their face. They are the ones who are in the moment. But a child, of course, is innocent and wild and free. They're just a magnet of brain matter and nerve endings. They're sucking in life experiences by the minute. We are out there fighting them off. One of my favorite psychiatric quotes from old, life is tough. Get a helmet. How do we regain our true selves? Well, so far we're only on the second agreement, so you may have to join the class to find out. But it's that age-old wisdom of the enlightened indigenous ones. In this case, it's the Toltecs out of Mexico. They taught 4 agreements. 1, be impeccable with your word. Be honest, especially with yourself, and that's the hardest. 2, don't take anything personally. That's the one I like. Mm-hmm. Hugh Prather, in his little journal, Notes to Myself, which I got way back in seminary in the 70s, he wrote this, and I memorized this from the book long ago. No matter what we talk about, we are talking about ourselves. Mm-hmm. It's true of me, it's true of everyone. I may say, you're stupid. I would never say that to you. I'm not revealing anything about you. I'm talking about myself. I'm revealing something of myself. 3rd agreement, don't make assumptions. Kind of funny. He says the problem with assumptions, we believe they are the truth. Well, yeah, that's what an assumption is. Well, I know you didn't want to go because you didn't say blah, 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 this and that. Don't make assumptions. And number 4, always do your best. All of that is going to make you wild and crazy and free. And it's going to keep you awfully busy. I'm a little too old for all of that. In fact, I've done that all my life. And I can say it works. That's why I'm so strange. But here's a shortcut for this morning. This is my Cliff's notes. Don't take anything personally, but take everything passionately. Take a cruise, go all in. The beat of my own drum, right? Tupac Shakur. One more. Rap singer. I'm not perfect, but I'll always be real. My friend Paul, the English professor, that's one of his many selves. He sent me this quote just this week from Frida Kahlo. Am I saying it correctly? Kahlo? A Mexican artist who is known for her pain and passion and bold, vibrant colors. Now, Frida, I looked up and found, suffered from polio when she was a child. And then she suffered in a horrible, debilitating bus crash as a young adult that caused her constant pain, dozens of operations throughout her life. But it also set her on her path to art and activism. This is what Frida wrote. I used to think I was the strangest person in the world. But then I thought, there are so many people in the world. There must be someone just like me who feels bizarre and flawed in the same ways I do. I would imagine her and imagine that she must be out there thinking of me too. Well, I hope that if you are out there and read this, you'll know that yes, it's true. I'm here. And I'm just as strange as you. I see your true colors shining through. That's why I love you. Anyway.
Thank you.